The world of modern celebrity culture is driven by a constant search for moments that transcend the ordinary, turning brief glimpses into shared cultural milestones that resonate far beyond the immediate circle of those who witness them. We live in an era where the public lives of figures we admire are often experienced through a collective lens, where every detail is analyzed and every carefully curated appearance becomes a chapter in a much larger narrative. It is an intricate dance between privacy and performance, where the boundaries between the personal and the spectacular become beautifully blurred, creating an atmosphere of perpetual anticipation. When individuals who have captured the global imagination step into the spotlight, they carry with them the weight of millions of expectations, yet it is often the quiet, subtle nuances of their public expressions that truly capture the spirit of the age. Before we dive deeper into this fascinating unfolding story and unravel the layers of meaning behind recent spectacular gatherings, take a moment to subscribe to this channel to stay closely connected with every major cultural breakdown and exclusive insight we bring your way regularly. Understanding these moments requires looking closely at how modern icons choose to present themselves, how they honor friendships, and how they signal deeper emotional connections through the medium of style and artistic tribute. Setting a stage that is both deeply intimate and profoundly public. To fully appreciate the gravity of high-profile gatherings in the modern landscape, one must consider the sheer scale of planning, the careful curation of guest lists, and the intense media speculation that precedes any major event involving global figures. For months, whispers fill the air, rumors circulate across various digital platforms, and fans across the world piece together fragments of information, creating a palpable sense of excitement that builds into a crescendo. The atmosphere surrounding such occasions is charged with a unique kind of electricity, where every invitation sent out is viewed as a golden ticket to a historic manifestation of modern artistry and union. When the chosen venue is one of the most iconic arenas on the planet, a place traditionally reserved for historic athletic feats and legendary musical performances, the magnitude of the gathering increases exponentially. Yet, despite the grand scale and the presence of hundreds of notable personalities from the realms of sports, literature, and entertainment, the true essence of these events often lies in the details that emerge through the accounts of the attendees themselves, who bridge the gap between the monumental scale of the venue and the deeply personal nature of the celebration. Among the distinguished guests who attended this monumental celebration, certain couples stood out not merely for their status, but for the profound way they embodied the spirit of the occasion through their carefully chosen attire and heartfelt public sentiments. The art of attending a high-profile gathering is a delicate balance of honoring the hosts while expressing one's own identity, a feat that requires a deep understanding of fashion as a form of nonverbal communication. When prominent cultural figures, known for their empowering literary works and historic athletic achievements, step out into such an atmosphere, their presentation becomes a subject of intense admiration and study. Their presence adds a layer of intellectual and physical excellence to the gathering, representing a union of different worlds coming together to celebrate a shared milestone. The choices made by these guests, from the silhouettes of their garments to the specific accessories they carry, serve as subtle nods to the shared history and the deep bonds of friendship that connect them to the center of the celebration, making their arrival a highly anticipated highlight of the entire evening. As the evening unfolded within the grand architecture of the historic venue, the visual landscape was a testament to haute couture and impeccable tailoring, creating an atmosphere that felt both timeless and distinctly contemporary. The guests arrived in an array of spectacular garments, each contributing to a collective tapestry of elegance that defined the night. The choice of attire for such an event is never accidental. It is a meticulous process that involves collaboration with legendary fashion houses and a deep appreciation for the thematic resonance of the celebration. The combination of classic tailoring, complete with traditional elements adapted for modern sensibilities, and fluid, ethereal gowns embellished with intricate beadwork and shimmering details, created a striking visual contrast that captivated onlookers. These sartorial choices do more than just look beautiful on camera. They reflect the deep respect the guests hold for the occasion and their desire to contribute to an environment of absolute magic and reverence, ensuring that the visual legacy of the gathering matches the emotional depth of the union it celebrates, beyond the immediate visual splendor. The true depth of the gathering began to reveal itself through the subtle messages and symbolic tributes woven into the very fabric of the guests' appearances. In the realm of high-profile celebrations, an accessory is rarely just an accessory. It can be a canvas for artistic expression, a hidden message of affection, or a direct reference to a shared creative journey. When a beautifully crafted piece contains a textual reference that directly connects to the creative output of the celebrated hosts, it transforms the look from a fashion statement into a profound act of tribute. This creative dialogue between the guests and the hosts highlights the interconnected nature of the modern artistic community, where literature, sports, and music intersect in meaningful ways. It is this layer of intrigue and thoughtful detail that elevates the event from a mere social gathering into a historic cultural phenomenon, leaving the public eager to learn more about the deeper connections, the heartfelt messages, and the overarching narrative of love and support that defined this extraordinary night. The palpable tension of anticipation that had built up over months of intense media speculation finally reached its absolute apex on Friday, when the persistent rumors materialized into one of the most stunning reality checks the entertainment world has seen in decades. The grand event that had everyone guessing across the globe was nothing less than the highly anticipated wedding of global pop sensation Taylor Swift and elite professional football athlete Travis Kelce. This extraordinary union brought together two of the most massive cultural forces of our contemporary time, effectively bridging the gap between world-class athletics and unparalleled musical artistry in a way never before witnessed in modern history. The chosen venue for this monumental occasion was none other than the legendary Madison Square Garden, a historic location that demands absolute grandeur and is typically reserved for history-making moments. Transforming this iconic sports and entertainment arena into an intimate yet majestic sanctuary for a wedding required an unprecedented feat of architectural design, logistical production, and absolute, airtight secrecy. Security was incredibly strict, and the guest list was restricted to exactly 1,000 carefully selected family members and famous friends, ensuring that while the event was massive in its cultural scope, it retained an exclusive, protected atmosphere where the elite could celebrate without the intrusive glare of the outside world as the arrival of the attendees commenced under the bright lights of the metropolitan landscape. The red carpet area outside the grand arena transformed into a living museum of high fashion, with everyone attempting to strike the perfect balance between wedding guest etiquette and show-stopping glamour. Among this sea of high-profile celebrities, the renowned author of the best-selling book Untamed, Glennon Doyle, alongside her wife, retired professional soccer superstar Abby Wambach, instantly captured the attention of onlookers, establishing themselves as some of the absolute best-dressed individuals of the entire evening. Their carefully selected ensembles did not merely follow standard fashion protocols. Instead, they demonstrated a profound appreciation for personal style and artistic expression. Abby Wambach, the 46-year-old soccer legend known for her historic athletic triumphs and commanding leadership on the field, opted for a look that was both remarkably sharp and steeped in traditional elegance. She stepped out in a meticulously tailored three-piece tuxedo, complete with classic long tails, a crisp white waistcoat, and an elegant pocket chain that added a vintage, sophisticated touch to her commanding frame. Her outfit stood as a brilliant example of how traditional formal wear can be beautifully adapted to project modern confidence, refinement, and a deep respect for the magnitude of the celebration they were attending, contrasting and perfectly complementing Wambach's structured masculine elegance. The 50-year-old literary icon Glennon Doyle looked absolutely breathtaking in a powder blue Jenny Packham gown that seemed to capture the very essence of a timeless fairy tale. The ethereal dress was heavily embellished with intricate silver sequins and sparkling crystals that caught the ambient lighting of the venue, radiating a subtle, shimmering brilliance with every single step she took. The silhouette of the gown was fluid and graceful, flowing effortlessly behind her and embodying a sense of old Hollywood royalty that perfectly matched the high-profile nature of the evening. However, the absolute crown jewel of Doyle's look, and the specific detail that sent shockwaves of excitement through the community of dedicated observers, was a unique accessory that went far beyond mere aesthetic appeal. Doyle carried a custom white beaded clutch that served as a brilliant, direct artistic tribute to the bride herself. Emblazoned across the surface of the elegant clutch were the delicately beaded words stating that "but now the sky is," a direct quotation of lyrics from Taylor Swift's hit song Opalite, which originates from her highly acclaimed and most recent musical masterpiece titled The Life of a Showgirl. This subtle but profound style choice elevated her entire appearance from a standard high-fashion moment into a deeply thoughtful, personal interaction with the bride's creative body of work. The inclusion of these specific lyrics on such a prominent accessory instantly injected a layer of emotional resonance and narrative tension into the evening, as fans and commentators scrambled to analyze the deeper meaning behind the choice. The song Opalite and the album The Life of a Showgirl represent a deeply mature, highly introspective era in Taylor Swift's legendary career, exploring themes of vulnerability, public performance, and the ultimate salvation found in true personal connection. By displaying those specific words, Glennon Doyle was not just showcasing a beautiful piece of craftsmanship, she was signaling a profound understanding of the bride's emotional journey, acknowledging the complex transition from living under the constant scrutiny of the public eye to finding a safe, harmonious sanctuary in love. This gesture highlighted the deep intellectual and emotional bonds shared among the guests, proving that, despite the massive scale of Madison Square Garden and the presence of 1,000 elite attendees, the celebration was anchored by genuine, authentic friendships that cherished the small, intimate details of each other's artistic and personal triumphs. As the tension continued to mount inside the beautifully transformed arena, the anticipation surrounding the appearance of the bride and groom reached a near frenzy among those waiting inside and the millions following the updates outside. The crowd of 1,000 distinguished guests sat in rapt attention, surrounded by massive, elegant decorations that turned the athletic grounds into a timeless paradise of pure romance. It was revealed through official channels that both Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce chose to mark this historic day by wearing custom, exquisite haute couture looks designed exclusively by the legendary fashion house of Christian Dior. The choice of Dior spoke volumes about their desire for absolute classic perfection, combining French high fashion heritage with the modern, powerful identities of the bride and groom. Yet, in an era dominated by instantaneous digital sharing and real-time updates across social media platforms, the organizers managed to maintain an extraordinary, almost impossible level of control and mystique over the visual assets of the event. At the time of this unfolding report, official photos of the newlyweds' actual ceremony outfits have still not been released to the public, creating a fascinating, agonizing void that has only served to increase the global curiosity and heighten the dramatic tension surrounding this historic occasion. The world remains on the edge of its collective seat, waiting to catch a glimpse of the masterpieces that define the moment these two icons officially entered their new era together. The emotional core of this magnificent celebration truly crystallized in the quiet hours following the grand ceremony, when the immediate spectacle of Madison Square Garden began to settle into the memory of those who were fortunate enough to attend. The true significance of the historic union between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce became fully clear not through the blinding glare of the stage lights, but through a deeply moving joint public statement shared by Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach, which beautifully captured the collective sentiment of the 1,000 distinguished guests present. In their heartfelt message, addressed directly to the newlyweds, the couple pulled back the curtain on the profound intimacy of the evening, offering the world a glimpse into the genuine affection that binds this extraordinary community of global icons. They began by recounting how, before they fell asleep on that magical night, the very last thing they discussed was their deepest, most sincere hope for the couple's future together. They expressed a profound wish that the newlyweds would always feel completely surrounded and protected by expanding, concentric circles of unconditional love and unwavering support from their immediate family, their closest friends, and the vast network of global admirers who have watched their romance unfold with immense joy. This beautiful sentiment served as a powerful reminder of why this specific wedding matters so deeply on a global cultural level. Both the bride and the groom have lived their lives in highly public arenas, constantly exposed to extreme scrutiny, where every action is amplified and analyzed by millions of onlookers around the world. For Taylor Swift, a legendary artist who has spent decades chronicling the complexities of human emotion, love, heartache, and personal growth through her music, this moment represents the triumphant realization of a narrative she has bravely shared with the world. For Travis Kelce, a champion athlete who has reached the ultimate pinnacle of physical excellence and professional sports, it marks a transition into a profound new chapter of emotional fulfillment. The message from Doyle and Wambach perfectly encapsulated this transition by assuring the couple that as they step boldly into their new marriage era, they must hold on to one fundamental truth: stating beautifully that you are not on your own, kids, and you never will be. This poignant reassurance, looping back to the iconic lyrics and themes of Swift's past musical eras, emphasize that their union is not a solitary journey, but one backed by an immense, invisible fortress of love, kinship, and community. To fully comprehend the depth of this friendship and why these words carry such weight, one must examine the incredible individual journeys of the heroes who offered this beautiful tribute. Glennon Doyle, at 50 years old, has established herself as an influential literary powerhouse whose writings on self-discovery, resilience, and living authentically have inspired millions to reclaim their true selves. Her journey from a position of personal struggle to becoming a beacon of empowerment for people worldwide mirrors the narrative of reclaiming one's voice that defines much of Taylor Swift's own creative career. Standing beside her is Abby Wambach, the 46-year-old retired professional soccer champion whose legendary career on the field broke records, earned Olympic gold medals, and transformed the entire landscape of women's sports globally. Wambach's journey is one of relentless determination, teamwork, and the courage to lead others toward victory. Traits that resonate perfectly with the competitive drive and elite professionalism exhibited by Travis Kelce throughout his football career. Together, Doyle and Wambach represent a spectacular partnership of intellect and physical excellence, making them uniquely qualified to offer profound wisdom to another powerhouse couple entering a lifetime commitment. The poetic closure of their message contained a delightful, brilliant inside joke that highlighted the deep personal history and playful camaraderie shared between these two couples. In their affectionate sign-off, Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach playfully referred to themselves as your retired English teacher and PE teacher. This endearing title was a deliberate, heartwarming nod to the precise words that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce had used in their own public announcement when they first got engaged last year, where they jokingly told the world that your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married. This clever linguistic callback beautifully bridges the past with the present, demonstrating how these global figures use humor, literature, and shared metaphors to maintain a sense of grounded normalcy and deep personal connection despite the overwhelming scale of their public lives. It shows that beneath the haute couture garments from Christian Dior and the historic setting of Madison Square Garden, they remain a tight-knit circle of friends who cherish the simple, joyful roles they play in each other's life stories. Celebrating major milestones with the same warmth as regular neighbors. Furthermore, the shared journey of these couples highlights a broader cultural movement where icons from completely different industries find common ground through shared values. The world of sports and the world of literature might seem completely separate on the surface, yet when they intersect at an event of this magnitude, they create a rich tapestry of mutual respect. The presence of sports icons alongside literary giants and musical legends reinforces the idea that true greatness recognizes greatness across all disciplines. This mutual admiration is what gave the evening its unique energy, transforming a standard social gathering into a monumental intersection of modern cultural history. The guests did not just show up to be seen, they arrived to actively invest their emotional energy into supporting a union that they believe in, creating a powerful shield of protection around the newlyweds as they begin their lives together under the continuous spotlight. Ultimately, this historic gathering at Madison Square Garden was far more than a traditional celebrity wedding. It was a profound celebration of modern love, community, and the triumph of genuine human connection over the chaotic noise of modern celebrity culture. By bringing together 1,000 individuals from vastly different walks of life, including literary leaders, sports champions, musical legends, and devoted family members, the event created a living testament to the power of shared support. The stories of Glennon Doyle, Abby Wambach, Taylor Swift, and Travis Kelce are all uniquely defined by an unwavering commitment to excellence, authenticity, and the courage to pursue love openly. As the final echoes of this extraordinary celebration fade into history, the legacy of the evening remains securely anchored in the heartfelt exchanges, the symbolic style tributes, and the powerful realization that no matter how vast, complicated, or intimidating the world may seem, true belonging is found in the